What's going on, everyone? Commodore last year today, bringing to you guys my live reaction to Kingdom Greatness manga chapter 610. Now, the chapter apparently has been out since Wednesday, and I gotta let you guys know that I was informed originally last week that we're supposed to be on break for this week, because double issue, and I guess most of the magazines in Shueisha were gonna be on break. So I had made plans on the Wednesday to do some other stuff, and then I saw afterwards when I was out that Kingdom was out, and I'm like, there's no way I can be able to read it. So I said I was gonna wait till Thursday. Thursday came through, the life arc happened, and I had to delay it again. So today's Friday. I apologize again, for the delay. Normally, if I have the free time and I know Kingdom's out, I'll be able to read it. But it is what it is, man. You can't stop the life arc when it comes into play. But we're here for 610. I know for a fact that the color page has to do something with Gyou Un. It was the only thing I do know going into this chapter, and hopefully we get to actually see freaking the fight between Ohan and Gyou Un, because I still felt like last week we should have got that fight. Like it just should start right there and then. I know they teased it they're about to clash. We should have at least got that. But Ohan's condition obviously is not in the best place right now, especially the hard thing that's been going on and stuff. So we're gonna have to see how that's gonna come into play, and then whether or not the dead arm that Gyou Un has is really gonna mess him up or not. But I don't know. He's still a monster, man. So we're gonna have to see how that goes. But without further ado, let's get into the chapter. And of course, shout out to Senskins and Turner Farmers as always for bringing the greatness of Kingdom week in and week out, because a certain company in North America continues to fail us on a weekly, a monthly, and an annual basis. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's see what's going on with Kingdom. So Kingdom, manga chapter 610. Hope his mouse doesn't die on me. And it says here, volume 56, chapter 610, Rin Shou Jou's advice. Now, if Hara wants to, forgive me, or at least, if he wants my forgiveness, or, he wants this, to tell me that, I'm sorry for the length of this arc and stuff, he's going to give me, at the very least, some news about Rin Shou Jou, because I've been wanting to know the damn news for a minute, what the hell that second piece of advice is. I better get it now, man. The arc has still been good, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not digging the pace. Should've, but that's for another time. I guess we'll talk about it for another time. Anyways, let's get into it. 610. And there's the color page right here afterwards with Gyou Un. Holding the final wish of his deceased master in his heart, this man makes his stand on grounds dyed scarlet. Okay. There's one thing I'll say is that when he had to recite that line where he's bathe these lands in scarlet blood, no line hit harder than that one. It's got all the red jewels and everything. Well, the scarlet jewels, I should say, embedded into his helmet. The Hebe on the top, looking all dope. And I think that's volume 55's cover. Chogaryu, Shishosa, Kanto, Shin, Kyokai. Okay, that's a dope cover. I mean, I really wish we had an English release, because there's so many volumes I want to be able to own. Stuff like this, I have to, because it's Mou Ten, but it's when I see things like this, that's a beautiful cover. Anyways, let's get into the chapter and see what's going to go down. So, see a horse moving on. So I'm assuming right now going into the Gyou Un fight with Chogaryu, with Ohan. Gyou Un-sama, Hon-sama. So one direction they're coming in, the other direction coming in, and it should be able to clash. Ohan staring at what's going on. Ba-dump. Hon-sama. Shin looking on. Ohan. And they're about to go at it. So, okay, we're about to see hands. Look at look at the bend on the glaive right there from Gyou. This is just one arm. It's just a little weirdly bent up and everything. Oh, but is he gonna actually tag him though? Which I would assume just because of the condition, but is he gonna tag him? He's looking on. I switched over to Rin Shou Jou. He's looking on. You both still have a role to play, Gyou Un. When that hour finally comes, stain those scarlet fields even darker than the blood of your enemies. Yeah. You see him with the tears and all, sweat come down. Yes, sir. For me to leave this early will burden Renpa and the others. My lord, I leave the rest to you. These lands. He just right there, just says his final breath, and that's it, man. It's crazy how much he kind of reminds me of Sei. Take away the little piece of the beard, he reminds me of Sei, but also has a bit of that Shoei-kun little look to him too as well. And you see right there from Chogaryu and like Gyou Un were like losing their mind. Because I remember when we got that, I forgot what page it was from what chapter, but you know the one where we saw Gyou Un like, you know, outside like screaming his head off and stuff. Like probably one of my favorite panels though from this arc, man. Just seeing like, you know, the rage that was coming out of him from losing his master. It's great stuff. But yeah, that was it for him. So Rin Shou Jou right there passes on, and he's about to come into swing. Not good. Gyou Un's faster. And you see Ohan trying to put an arm up. Wait, is he going to try and tap it? Wait, didn't he have his arm like that before with the thing in? So I guess he was able to come in quick enough to go like this. And he's going to try and block it now. And hits it. He caught the... And his armor cracked. And if it cracked, he caught the... And the horse's leg snapped. He hit it with enough force with a damn horse's leg snapped. Yo. Oh, the bone popping out too and everything. Yo, I saw bad memories. I saw bad memories of the Mobu and Kame fight. Like, bones popping out. Oh, man, off the horse. Like, clench. Yo! He caught him! Yo! I'm standing for this bomb, but yo! Progression, let's go! Yo! He caught him though! Let me go back. He tapped him one time, but I guess because of the amount of power from the crack and then he ricocheted right afterwards. Caught him dead right in the middle. The horse's leg, you see the bone just sticking out now even further. The snap, but he was able to catch him and drive it right through his chest. Nah, but if Gyou Un just swings one time, because look how vulnerable right now Ohan is. You catch him with one swing, it might be a wrap even for Ohan. Yo! He caught him right there and then. Shin's looking on shook. Everyone from all the troops are looking on shook. And you just see like the spear just coming right through the middle. Piercing from the other side. Gyou might be done. And because Ohan just falls to the ground because he didn't get a chance, I think he's done. Way faster than how it took out Earl Shi, though. I don't know how I feel about that. But you would have to think that there's been enough progression during that period of time for Ohan to do something like that. But still, though. Ohan just took him down right there and then. Blood just gushing out. Gyou Un-sama! He slumped right over. How? His glaive just drops to the ground. How dare you, Ohan? Onsama, die. And Shin just comes and is like, no. It just swings them all right back afterwards. Shin of the Hishin unit, how dare you interfere? Kill them both. Wait. Gyou Un-sama, he's still talking with the injury he just took in. Before I die, there is something that I must pass on to those two. And the second is, should there come a time where you are unable to halt the sword of unification, then I would ask you to give them a word of advice. So, Rin Shou Jou is someone at that point in time who probably was against the idea of unification because, possibly because, he understands everyone's ideals cannot come into, together just like that. But if there's a point in time that wish is out of the realm, you gotta say something real quick. What was it? A message from my master Rin Shou Jou, who bade me to pass this on to you too. And you see Ohan and Shin just looking a little bit like nervous there. A message for Honsama. Well, what are you talking about? Hasn't Rin Shou Jou been dead for decades? Should the two of you truly desire to become the sword that will unify this divided land, then you would do well to heed these words. No matter what the future may bring, they must. A sword that has been raised to deliver a blow must be allowed to fully complete its downward stroke. You must see through it to the very end, no matter how bitter the cost. Those are the final words. No matter how deep you are in the game, you gotta see through it till the end. It's simple. You can't just go fight and then call it a day, man. If you're about unification, you're there no matter what. Even when you're in a wheelchair, even in a vegetative state, you gotta be there till the end. Show us that when you take our lives, you put us out of our misery, you take away everything that we've accomplished, and you're still around, you better not die right away. If you're talking about you're trying to unify these lands and bring peace back to this country, you better be there till the end. Those are some final words, man. A sword that has been raised to deliver a blow must be allowed to fully complete its downward stroke. I know pretty much he's going to say right here, I don't think he would want to go out like this, but just cut me down. Plain and simple. One more strike, just cut me down. If it needs to be. See Ohan looking with straight on face, but Shin just taken aback about that one. What do you... He goes and pulls it right out. What a warrior. He just told him to pull it right out. Spurt. Should the day come where these lands are ready to give their answer, and he's just coughing up blood while he's saying this, then you'll understand what I mean. And in many ways, it should have been him. Rin Shou Jou sama should have been the one to lead us to that answer. I was fully prepared to be the first one to offer up my life for his cause, but fate has other ideas. I mean my end now, not as the first, but the last, the one who served him longer than any other. So Rin Shou Jou actually was looking for the answer. What would have been if unification was real? If it was, so maybe he was the one that actually even had the idea too. Because it goes from what he said. No matter what the future may, they must. No. It's like in the second is, should there come a time where you are unable to halt a sort of unification, then I will ask you to give him a word of advice. Because maybe even him, he had that idea in his mind that maybe it's something that he had thought of, but obviously, you never know, given those times, who can actually bear fruit that possibility happening. And now that, say something happens to him and there comes a day where somebody actually walks in to, fulfill those wishes, it's let him know, man, it's for life. And then you're seeing where it looks to be, so what you're seeing here basically is when he found him, basically like a slave amongst slaves, and Rin Shou Jou just took him in alongside Shogaryu, and they're playing, I guess, a shogi or something, but that's actually really dope. Okay, I mean, it's little things, but I like this too, because it shows what he meant to him. Was a slave at one point in time, took him in, and that's something too when you think about it, is that he kind of relates with Shin in some ways too, as somebody who started as nothing but a slave and made himself as one of the most trusted pillars underneath, the three great pillars, three great heavens. That's, what is this? Hold on. You want to die? See Rico right there in the corner, bro. That's funny. My boy, yo. He's Red Puffer shoulders looking at him you want to die? You want to throw hands at me? And I love how he's the only one in the very dead middle of the side, just watching all this chaos going on. And he's hey, man, we good. No one's going to mess with Rinko, man. But, yo. And you see, the last face that he makes right there towards, when he was actually at full health. Perhaps that's an honor as well. Shin, Ohan, everyone looking on. Gyou Un sama, and he goes out just like that. Gyou Un, the final member of the 10 horses that served Rin Shou Jou, the great heavens, falls in battle on the 15th day of the Battle of the Shukai Plains. And we're gonna get the break next week, man. Damn. Just like that, he got taken out. I mean, I was going to figure at least we get some more crazier fight between him and Ohan at the very least, but considering his arm was already messed up and stuff, there was a chance that he wasn't fully ready to go, and if he had one good arm, that's what he was going to try and rely on. But because of that ricochet coming in and, Ohan having a chance to be able to direct from the impact and move it forward towards him, it was enough to catch him right there dead on in a clean spot, and he was able to catch him. But finally, man, I mean, the progression itself, it sucks to see Gyou Un go out like this, but again, there has to be a side that has to die in this battle, and Gyou Un had to be that one. Well, we finally got that final piece of advice, man, from Rin Shou Jou, what it was. And it told him, man, if you are really truly about this unification thing, remember this, it's for life. You take the lives of the people that you set forth to make this thing happen, you don't die in that process, because the lives that you took in would have been meant for naught if you're not around to see it through it to the end. Plain and simple, man. But yo, and just really nice too. Even if it was like little tidbits and stuff, just to see like what that meant, what Gyou Un, what Rin Shou Jou meant to Gyou Un. In terms of he saw him as a slave, took him in. The connection like similar to how Shin stuff was and everything. Peasant, slave, and everything. And then just getting to see like him, spending that bonding time and everything with himself, Chogario, his master, and then just getting to see their Renpa, Rinko, like in itself, that was all awesome, man. Like it just getting to see a little bit of Rinko too, man. It just it's greatness, but that in itself, I gotta say this was actually a great chapter. Like I know some people probably feel a type of way and stuff in terms of how Gyou Un went out, but honestly, I'm perfectly fine with this because, again, we knew the things that were to happen, with him and Ohan going into the fight, so there was no way this was going to be a long skirmish by any means necessary. And the fact that we finally got to see, the news and stuff, that we've been waiting for so long finally come through, it's like, you make sure you go see it through to the end. But now that Chogario's out of the paint, now that Gyou Un's done, two big forces under Reboku are gone. It makes me think that either we're really truly coming to the end here, or we're going to transition to see what's going on with Mou Ten against Kisui. Because if we get that, I will be, whatever I say about the length of this arc and stuff, I'll be perfectly fine because at least it gives my boy time to shine and then hopefully be the closing part for this arc itself. I know we can go back to Ohan or to Osen and Reboku and all that, and I know that'll be good to see as well, but I'm in the mindset we're going to at least go back to see Mou Ten, what's going on with him, since it's been quite some time since we've seen what's going on. And I don't think it should be too long, over there as well. And then we have to see what's going to happen with Konki, the events going on in Gyou, whether or not the supply lines within Gyou have been completely decimated. Because we know it was up to half at one point, and I don't know if it's completely gone. If it's gone by that point, then it's going to be a chin victory when all is said and done. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. How you guys felt about this week's chapter, Kingdom. Did you enjoy this being the conclusion to Gyou Un's, part in the story? Did you feel like we should have gotten a little bit more of the fight itself, or you felt like the way that Hara kind of depicted it, it was really well done? And how did you guys feel about that being the final words that Rin Shou Jou said to his disciples before he passed on? If you guys are truly about the idea of unification and you are set out to you have to remember, you got to take lives in this process. You better not die in that process and make it happen if you truly are about it. So let me know how you guys feel about that. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. If you want to be part of the weekly experience when it comes to my coverage of Kingdom, week in and week out, subscribe if you haven't already and click on the bell Shandora to stay up to date with everything that goes on here on the channel. If you haven't already, make sure to do that. And with that being said, in 2 weeks' time, we start chapter 611. I don't know if it's going to go switch over to Mou Ten. If it does, listen, we in here. But if not, it goes back to Reboku and Osen. I'll be even happier with that because at least it'll give me an indicator that because we lost 2 members from Zhao's side on the pillars, it'll move on hopefully towards what will be the climax of the Western Zhao Invasion arc. So with that all being said, I'll catch you guys in 2 weeks' time hopefully, and see you guys for what should be another fire chapter of some of that Kingdom greatness. So Commodore last signing off. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care. Going crazy, yeah, we going crazy.